Today we're going to talk about using free credit reports during your home buying process to maximize your results. At the end of this video, you're going to understand your rights as it relates to free credit reports, learn how to access the reports, and how you're going to monitor your credit on an ongoing basis. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive on in. What is a credit report? Your credit report is a comprehensive summary of your personal credit history. It includes your personal identifying information, your payment history across all of your accounts, any current or past loans that you may have had, credit card accounts and balances, and then public records information like foreclosures or bankruptcies. All of this information is combined into a whole package, and it is considered to be your credit report. The goal of the credit report is to figure out how good of an investment you would be for a lender. A lot of lenders rely on your credit report to decide whether or not they're going to extend credit to you. And so this covers your overall credit performance, your loan performance, if you will, as it relates to funds that you've borrowed through installment loans or revolving credit over the course of the last many years. Now, as I mentioned, your credit report is your overall credit performance. So why is it important for you to manage your credit? Why does your credit report matter? And because this is what a lot of institutions, lenders, and sometimes even, to be honest, jobs or insurance companies are looking at to evaluate you and how financially responsible you are. You want to make sure that you can spot any errors that are on your credit report early, because it's not unusual for there to be errors on a credit report. You also want to make sure that you're able to fight identity theft, because if someone stole your identity or is using your credit inappropriately, that is going to also show up on your credit report, and it'll give you a chance to get ahead of it before too much damage has been done. You can put a block on anyone looking to open new accounts. There are a variety of different ways that you can manage your credit and your credit activity if you're monitoring and you discover that there's something that just doesn't seem right or something irregular that is taking place. It also allows you to stay informed. So you know where you are, you know if things are moving in the right direction, and make sure that everything is accurate. Again, you don't want a document to be out there that people are using to evaluate you and your financial responsibility and it not be accurate. It has errors, or there are things on there that really don't belong to you and that are fraudulent and are negatively impacting you and your credit score. So you have a legal right under the Fair Credit Reporting Act to be able to get information for free about your credit every year. There's an annual requirement or an annual provision. You get one free credit report from each of the 3 major credit bureaus every 12 months. And this is your opportunity to review the reports, challenge any errors. What typically happens is there's some differences between each one, and usually all of them, they're typically in more or less the same range in terms of a credit score, but there are slight differences. So take, for example, someone with good credit may have one credit score of 693, another of 702, and another of 715. So while they're all still in more or less the same range, the numbers typically are a little different. It's important for you to make sure that you take advantage. In the past, we used to have to pay, and there's still people who try to get you to pay to get a credit report to monitor your credit, but you do have the right under the Fair Credit Reporting Act to request an annual credit report. Because each bureau reports in a slightly different way, you're entitled to a report from each of the bureaus. Now, how do you get your free credit report? Let's talk about that a little bit. You get the report by visiting the official website, and it's annualcreditreport.com, or you can call the toll-free number 1-877 322-8228, or you can ask for it by mail. Visit the website. That's probably the easiest, fastest way, but you can call, and if you don't do tech and you want to write, just send a request. You can go ahead and send it to Annual Credit Report Service in Atlanta, Georgia. The Annual Credit Report is authorized to provide free annual credit reports that you're entitled to. Just make sure that you're not going to a similar sounding website, because there are quite a few out there that will charge you. You go through the process and ultimately end up being charged for a report that you can get for free if you go to this actual site. Now, how often can you request a credit report? How often can you check? What's the best timing and the best frequency? And there's a standard annual access. That's what it started out as. Every 12 months, you are entitled to ask for one free report from all of the 3 bureaus. Now, the 3 bureaus are Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. Equifax has actually gone above and beyond, and they now currently offer 6 free credit reports per year through 2026. So you can 6 times a year you can request a free credit report from Equifax. That will give you the opportunity to monitor your Equifax credit report. And all 3 bureaus now offer a weekly online reports where you can get an update. The reports may not include a credit score, but you can get updates as to what's happening on your credit, and subscribe to the service and get that information so you can manage and monitor and see what exactly is happening as it relates to your credit and your credit report. Now, the next question is, well, what happens after you make the request? Well, the experience is going to be a little different depending on how you made the request. So if you ask for the credit report, if you requested it online, you're going to receive immediate access. They're going to verify your personal information, like your social security number and your address, and you can view the reports instantly. Again, critically important to make sure, since you're putting in your personal information, to make sure that you are at the right site, annualcreditreport.com. Critically important. If you made a phone request or a mail request, snail mail request, you can go ahead and expect to get an answer in approximately 15 days. They'll verify your identity and prepare your complete credit history, and they'll send it over to you in multiple formats, including print. You can request an audio version. If you have vision impairment or someone you know has vision impairment, it can include Braille. So any way that's necessary, any format that you need to be able to effectively process and review your report. Now, what are smart strategies for monitoring your credit? Firstly, again, we talked about the fact that all 3 bureaus have slightly different reports and slightly different results. So I would stagger my request for that free annual report. Don't ask for all 3 of them from all 3 bureaus at the same time. Maybe first quarter ask for one from one of the bureaus, and then maybe later on in the year, second quarter, third quarter, ask for another one, and then towards the end of the year get the third, and then you can compare all 3 reports as you're going through the year, right? Make sure that you review them side by side, look to see if the information is the same across the board, and more importantly, if the information makes sense for you. If you're seeing charges or accounts that you don't have any knowledge of or you're not familiar with, that is a massive red flag, and you need to make sure that you reach out and start getting clarification that, maybe it's an account that you forgot about that's old or delinquent, and you don't realize that it's on your account. But whatever, anything that you don't recognize or anything that doesn't seem accurate, 100% dispute it right away to make sure that the report can be updated and will be a good reflection of your actual credit story. Again, I can't say this enough, protecting yourself from scams, making sure that you are sure that you're going to the right website. Guard your information. Never provide your social security number, your date of birth, any of your key private information to phone calls. Somebody made a phone call, you got an unsolicited call or email or text message claiming that they're from the credit bureau. They don't communicate with you like that. So make sure that unless you initiated contact, you are not providing information that is personal to you and that would allow someone to steal your identity and hijack your credit based on doing outreach to you. Always make sure that you initiated a conversation, you initiated a contact, and double check. If someone calls, hang up and you call back at the number that you know is correct, or verify in as many ways as you can. Check for an email. The bad actors are all over, so you want to make sure that you're not giving your information to anybody who is not legitimate. Also, bear in mind, anybody who reaches out and asks for payment up front, again, huge red flag. What we're talking about are free reports that you should be able to gain access to, not something that you're going to have to pay for. So if you're being asked to make a payment, that is a concern. Make sure that you just double check to make sure that you're in the right place and say, hey, I thought this was something that was available for free. Why am I being asked to pay? And pay close attention to the answer. All right, so what are the steps that I recommend that you take now, today? Go ahead and schedule your review. Set aside some time to go ahead and visit the website. I think if you have access to the web, that is probably the fastest, easiest way. So go ahead and visit the website and get the first of your reports. Take some time. I know it's a lot. Sometimes credit reports can be, 10, 15, 20, 30 pages long. Set some time aside to go through the report. All right, review it for accuracy. Every line on there that indicates an account and a balance, paid off or not, make sure that that is actually something that belonged to you. All right, take the time to go through and make sure that it belonged to you. And then create some reminders for yourself to go back periodically to check to see that the report is accurate. Again, we talked about doing something every quarter. I mean, I would definitely suggest doing a quarterly review to make sure that everything that's on the report is actually accurate and that no one has taken advantage of your overall of access to your overall information and is having a bad impact or a negative impact on your credit. And then, of course, dispute any mistakes, anything that's there that should not be there. You want to go ahead and make sure that you get that done. If you need any personalized assistance, or you want to just kind of talk through the process of how your credit is impacting your home ownership journey, please feel free to visit my website at simplyaskSharon.com and schedule an appointment. There's a link on the site that allows you to schedule a free consultation, phone consultation with me. So go ahead and do that, as well as to take advantage of any of the free resources that we have online at the website to help you in your home ownership journey. I hope that you found this information helpful. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you the next time.